It's officially spooky season on TV. If you're a fan of horror stories and Halloween hijinks, there's never been a better time for you to enjoy TV. Horror, and horror comedy, is booming, with a series for every kind of fan out there. Want something spiritual, supernatural and intriguingly confusing? Try CBS drama Evil, now on Netflix. Want that, but with some Marvel flavor? There's Hellstrom on Hulu. Want something for serious horror fans? Netflix The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor series are for you. As we head into a Halloween season unlike any other, it's comforting to know that while we may not be able to trick or treat or go to parties, we can still curl up on the couch and be terrified by episode after episode of good TV. Well, as comforting as screaming can ever be. Netflix and CBS All Access this brilliant, gripping drama from the creators of The Good Wife and The Good Fight marries the spiritual and supernatural with the mystery of the weak formula, a bit like if the X-Files investigated religious phenomena instead of aliens. Starring the immensely appealing trio of Katja Herbers, Westworld, Mike Colter, Luke Cage, and Asif Manvi, The Daily Show. You might not always know what's real and what's not in the series, but you'll always be glued to the screen. More 50 best TV shows to watch on Netflix right now. Evil, Schitt's Creek finale arrive in October. Netflix if you want to be properly scared by smart, gripping horror. There's no better show than Netflix The Haunting of series. Hill House, based on the book by Shirley Jackson, was a surprise hit in 2018. In the new Bly, much of the same cast takes on different roles for a new literary tale of horror, a take on Henry James' The Turn of the Screw. Although season 2 is more eerie than outright terrifying, it's the kind of stoic, grown-up horror you don't often find on TV, and a contrast to the decidedly campy American horror story. More, everything new on Netflix in November, The Crown Season 4. The Shawn Mendes documentary Hulu Like Evil, Hellstrom mixes the spiritual and the supernatural in stories of demons, exorcisms and religious evil. Based on Marvel Comics characters, the series follows siblings Daimon, Tom Austin, and Anna Hellstrom, Sidney Lemon, the children of a notorious serial killer who have special powers that help them fight monsters and demons. A little bit action, a little bit scary, Hellstrom is a solid entry in the Marvel TV canon. HBO and HBO Max. HBO's Spanish-language comedy isn't all that spooky, but it is a riotously funny series, produced by Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels and Fred Armisen, who also occasionally co-stars. The series follows an eclectic group of friends who create a horror for hire business, helping stage a fake exorcism to boost a priest's profile and creating a haunted mansion for an eccentric millionaire. HBO and HBO Max. HBO's summer thriller riffs on horror tropes from celebrated writer H.P. Lovecraft, and reacts to his open and vicious racism, to craft a unique and gripping story about what it was like to live as a black person in 1950s America. Produced by Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams, the series follows Atticus Tick Freeman, Jonathan Majors, and Letitia Letty Lewis, Journey Smollett, as their lives intersect with a secret, supernatural society that aims to exploit them. Hulu for fans of short stories and, well, monsters. This Hulu anthology series is both scary and profound. Its episodes feature Caitlin Dever, Kelly Marie Tran, Mike Colter, and Taylor Schilling, as characters confronting a kind of monster, whether it is supernatural, human or both. Peacock for those who like their horror. Stephen King flavored. Peacock is now streaming this cancelled AT&T Audience Network drama based on the author's recent book series. Mercedes is more detective mystery than straight-up horror, but it has King's signature thrills, plus a superb cast including Brendan Gleeson, Holland Taylor and Jarrell Jerome. When They See Us. Gleeson plays retired detective Bill Hodges, who hunts for a sociopath who drove a stolen Mercedes through a crowd, killing 16 people. Showtime Game of Thrones star Natalie Dormer anchors this spin-off of Showtime's 2014-16 gothic horror fest, Penny Dreadful. Set stateside in 1930s Los Angeles amid the golden age of Hollywood, the series takes its inspiration from Mexican-American folklore. The deity Santa Muerte, Lawrence Izzo, is fighting her considerably more demonic sister, Magda Dormer, while a pair of detectives, Daniel Zavato and Nathan Lane, investigate a murder case amid the city's racial tensions and the rise of the Nazis in Europe. Amazon, streaming October 30th, for fans of Shaun of the Dead. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have reunited for their first TV series, another horror comedy about a cable guy, Frost, who hunts the paranormal in his free time. And while there are jokes, this isn't a silly romp in the British countryside. There are real scares, creepy ambience and a frightening dog whose image you may never get out of your head. CBS All Access. This remake of the Rod Serling classic, which returned for a second season in June, isn't as transcendent as the original, but it's still home to solid, unsettling science fiction. Narrated by Jordan Peele, who is a fitting stand-in for Serling as host, the new season's disquieting episodes feature guest appearances from Jimmy Simpson, Tony Hale, Billy Porter, Joel McHale and Chris Maloney.